Bop. Sunday bites and tidbits. This life they'll help you live it and get yourself together. Sunday bites and tidbits.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday Bites and Tidbits. What kind of laugh is that, Babette? Very cynical, but kind of. How you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Good. It's a good day.
This week I've been hearing you in my head. I've been hearing you say the collective because we're all one.
We're all one.
And that's why it's been stirring around in my head. I even talked to Deb about it earlier this week. It's like just stirring around. It's the collective. The I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Moment of just clearing.
It's what you're doing tomorrow. Yeah.
I feel very young today. I feel very.
But you're so cute.
Your hair is adorable. You look really
love
cute.
Your hair.
Yeah.
Love jeans.
Probably because I got on my daughter's Syracuse hoodie.
And all of these colors are so cute. They're matching. Everything is just so pretty. And also you, Sylvia, your braids are just fire.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so cute.
We did this for the play.
I love it. Yeah, cute.
Okay, too much information. You know what you have to do?
I sent Babette something today.
Huh?
Huh?
I'm about to say something crazy. You don't want to hear me say something crazy?
Where? Go ahead.
Okay. You know, when you have braids that are 36 inches long, you have to watch. When you go to the
bathroom. Oh,
you do.
You got to pull them all the way around.
And you have to remember that they're not sitting in the toilet with your business.
Oh. It's crazy. Yeah. So
yeah, no, it is
free. Sunday Bites family. We just wanted to bless you with that visual.
Yeah, so our guest, as you could hear, is stuck in traffic. So we're just going to chit chat and we may cut it out and we may not. It all depends on how much work I feel like doing. But anyway,
leave it.
Yeah, it was funny because I had a conversation with, and Sylvia, this probably would not pertain to you because you're happily married. But it would not. But you can jump in on it because it's about wellness and health and feeling young and energetic. And I was talking. They have that. You ever see that show on YouTube called Pop the Balloon? It's a dating show. So what happens is they have a line of either male or females. They have a balloon. So when the person walks out, just from first appearance, they could either pop their balloon and say, no, I'm not interested, or they hold their balloon and without popping it. And then once, as the person starts sharing a little bit more about themselves, well, I don't like animals. Somebody may pop their balloon because I love animals, so that's the whole thing. So it's mostly like 30-ish, 20s to 30s that I've seen. So I was saying, it would be real interesting if they did something with seniors. So I just happened to stumble upon one today that had people in their 60s, maybe. I think one lady was in her 80s. And this is nothing to say bad about anyone who's not in shape or healthy, but for those who pride themselves on trying to stay healthy and eat healthy and stay vibrant and can move and exercise, it's very disheartening. That's all I'm going to say, because it's, you look and you say, well, maybe I would go on a show like this, but I would not. You almost have to skew down. You got to skew down when you take care of yourself because it's not common. Most people just don't do it.
You got to go on the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, but I don't want to do anything like that.
But you need to just go on this one and see what Tara just needs to send you the link so you could just see a little bit of this hair coming out.
Yeah, do like attracts like. And you go in there, you attract the man who is in the same headspace you're in.
Yeah, but they have to have them on the show for you to, you know what I'm saying? If I'd have to go on the show, I have to find a show where they really look for people who take pride and really want to, and I don't even like that word because, there's so many variables as to why people might be dealing with, health issues or whatever. But those who kind of have held it together to be 60 or, 50 something or 60 is holding it together in a way because they like to get out and hike and they like to bike ride or they like to go to the gym. But it just makes such a difference when part of your journey, you don't wait until things fall apart to try to pull it together, because it does make a difference down the line on how you show up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if Rhonda wasn't in my life, not one of them people on the panel would I have given a second thought about. Not nary a one, not and one. No, not wouldn't have. Every balloon will pop, pop, pick, pow, ping, pow. And I ain't being mean. I'm just telling you, for me, no.
Maybe you just created a show. Maybe there should be a show with, fabulous, whatever, fit, blah, 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 because that's kind of what the Golden Bachelor is. I mean, it's, it's primarily.
Okay, so maybe I would like to see the Golden Bachelor. Maybe I'd rather see that compared to that balloon thing. Because when Tara sent me that, I was like,
yeah, it's different. I mean, obviously they're going after people who have money, who look really good, the women and the men. And so they're going after a whole different, mindset.
Whereas the balloon show, it was just like, we just, we just
want to be on it. Who want to be on?
Yeah.
I just don't want to meet someone like that in that way. I don't want to be sitting there and then because I was never a fan of competition shows like that, where you see if I win. I do enough of that just for auditions. I don't want to have to then go and say, look at me, do you like me? And fighting over women. That's just not my style. I'll be in the background going, if you don't like me, that's fine. I'm just here to get some free food and meet some nice people and whatever else. Because it's definitely not to chase or fight over a person. I can't.
Sorry, go ahead, baby.
No, it's just my way. So I just have to meet people walking down the street or grocery store. Because you take the same kind of chance, either they're going to be cool or they're not going to be cool. And
to kind of just throw this in there, just because people let themselves go inside of marriage too.
Oh, absolutely.
And so no matter, and you don't have to be over 50. Sometimes people let themselves go. Oh, I'm 30, it's over. Or I'm 40.
Because you're in a marriage.
And what we were talking about this today, this idea of evolving inside of a relationship. If I met you, especially if I met you when I was 20, right? My heart is the same, but hopefully nothing else is. Hopefully I'm, especially mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I'm growing, right? And if you're not growing, you're not even standing still. You're devolving. You can't, because you can't just, so even inside of a relationship, physically, mentally, spiritually, we're both kind of like, we've done this over these 15, 16 years we've been together, which is why we're still together. And I think that from a fitness perspective, I married an athlete, a guy, he was he was a baseball guy. He was really, really, really good. And so he thinks like an athlete. So he likes to, get in the gym and go for a walk. And, he don't like to go for a run.
Keep going.
So I think if we didn't have that in common, it would be easy to become a, big old fluffy brown chair potato. You know what I mean? But for me, my head needs it. But my head needs the gym or needs to work out. It's sure that the candy is what it does for me physically, but here is where it really, especially with, what's funny? I just started lifting again because I had been doing these 5-mile walks, whatever. And the trainer that I work out with, her name is Kim Constable. She lives in Ireland. This is a woman who started her whole vegan thing because she couldn't find anybody who was vegan and a fitness person. Now, I don't mean working out. I mean like lifting, right? And so she started this whole thing, and a cat just came in here. Did you see that?
I just saw it.
I saw it.
Hi, Sheba. And so this was years ago when I met, and so I have I interact with her over the internet. And I have a couple of her videos. I have her actual workout that she doesn't sell. That's what she does with her trainer.
You stuck.
No, I'm not. Girls, that thing is bananas. It is so hard. It is, when you're doing it, you don't think it's as hard as it is until the next day when you can't lift your arms, like sit down and you can't. Oh my God. But just going from walking those hills, and that's 5 miles. That's not nothing. And it's true. But when you get in the gym and start, doing all that again, it's working a whole different part of your body. But it's for me, and I know, Deb, we've talked about this. It's my head. And back to your point, if he and I didn't have that in common, it would be a little weird because it's so much a part of my life. Like if he wasn't vegan, or at least plant-based, it would be weird. It would be different.
It all helps.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, it does, because but isn't that what relationships are? I mean, no matter where we are, whether it's a husband, wife, a friendship, when I hang, most of my friends now, they don't have to be vegan, but they make healthy choices so that they can go places that I like to go and enjoy the food. So I don't always have to go sit at a place that they like and try to make a meal out of greasy, pasta or something like that. So, but it's not just the food, it's also a consciousness. It's also it's up here. It's like everything about me, I want to be healthy as it can be. So I think part of the thing, what I'm saying is that you and your husband, you've grown together because you are like-spirited. You have the same kind of consciousness. So, which is why your relationship is probably standing the test of time and you loving each other, because you don't do, one person is, I always say it's like this, we meet like this. Now, whether I'm the abuser and you're the abusee, or I'm the one that wants to be loved on and you love to love, we meet like this. And then hopefully as the relationship continues on, I may learn a little bit something more about myself that I want to fix, and you learn a little something about you want to fix, and I learn a little something. So we're always doing this. So we met down here, now we're up here, as opposed to I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to get healthy, you sitting on the couch going, well, I don't care. My mind, I'm trying to get my mind right. And now we're like this, so I have nothing in common. When we met, we had so much in common, and that's any kind of relationship. So I think that, I never put down, because I never know what other people are dealing with. It's their journey. And some folks,
Hey, Smokey.
Some folks, you do it your way. I just know for me, I would love to, have somebody who could hike with me, or even if it's not all the time, who likes to get out and walk, who likes to, that's more of what I'm looking for, who, when I sit down and eat and they don't go, could you throw a steak on this? Like, no, I can't. It's not.
I mean, it's so funny because you don't have to be vegan to hang with me. Like, but even family.
Either.
These family, okay, all the cats are coming here. What is happening right now?
How many
you got?
2.
Oh.
Coco and Sheba.
Oh, I was looking for like about 7 of them.
No. But that's a whole episode, me talking about cats and how, the fact that I have cats is a miracle. It's a miracle.
Yeah, no,
but in any event, what I'm saying is, it's like you don't have to like everything I like. You don't have to do everything. But when it comes to who I am as a person who lives a vegan lifestyle, I have been vegan so long that there's no, we're going on 30 years now for me. So there's no, it's not even, I don't have to make a decision. I'm not tempted, none of that, right? And you don't have to be vegan, but what we won't do is we won't have you disparaging the way I eat every single time we go somewhere. We won't have you picking apart and making fun of and making, little snide remarks every time there's a family. We're not doing that. And so what I found myself doing with certain people is when it came time for that, I would just pull, not be a part of those situations. Again, I'm not going to sit here and dog your food while you're eating.
I don't, yeah.
That you don't do that when I'm, but it's interesting because when you make that choice, but I never said anything about it, right? Now they're all plant-based. All those people, the people who were like that years ago with me, are now all plant-based. And so it's an interesting kind of thing that happens around that. But if you, like you said, Deb, if you don't have that incremental growth process, you're gonna get stuck, or you're gonna bang into each other.
Well, there was one instance on this show where the woman said, well, I like a man that if I decided I wanted to go to church in the morning and then I wanted to go back to church in the afternoon because something special was going on and he wanted to watch his game, I would like for him to go back to church with me if I wanted him to go back. And one of the brothers popped his balloon and was like, she cool, everything is good, but hey, if I already went to church with you in the morning, I ain't trying to go back to church with you in the evening. I want to watch my game, period. That's it. I think more than anything, since I've been in like 4 marriages, I've been in a multitude of relationships, but 4 legal marriages, what I realized is that I always jumped into relationships too soon. And I didn't have a real good clue of who Babette was and what Babette needed in a partner. I just snatched them up, and that's growth. Like you say, Sylvia, is everything. It is absolutely everything. Personally, if I was doing it all over, I would not be with someone that's not plant-based. That would be challenging for me, especially if we're living in the same house. No, I want us to be on the same page as it pertains to the health of us individually and the health of our planet home and every other species here. I'm into the whole. So I would need a mate that is also into the whole. So there's so many things that I've learned consciously. I've raised my level of understanding. I have to hook up with a mate that has done the same exact thing.
More alignment with you. And
Y'all on the same journey.
Yeah, and for me, I have, they say that one person doesn't make up, all the different people. That's why we have so many different people in our lives, because they actually, I have a lot of different male friends who come with offering me different things. But at this age now, I have most of my friends are not vegan. No, quite a few of my friends are not vegan. Most of them are health conscious, though, probably because they're forced into it now, because as they're getting older, they're starting to see that, I better cut this out, or that's not working. I don't want to have diabetes. So now they're starting to look at it different. So some of the choices are healthier choices. But for me, I think that to actually live with someone now, I would want them to at least be very much on the same page with me, because I'm not anti anything, but the smell of it bothers me because it's been so long, number one. And they're just, you don't have to hike with me, but it's nice if you could. And not that you have to, it's just nice that you could, because that means that you're taking care of yourself. Because now I don't have to, we go together and I got to wait for you down at the bottom. You got to wait for me at the bottom. Because trust me, I've been down there. I'm walking for 5 minutes. Can we just sit for a minute? I said, sit, we just got it. So now and then you want to sit on a rock. So now I'm trying to enjoy my hike, but I feel like, okay, I got to hurry up back because they sitting on a rock, wait for me to get back. So it's those kind of things, I think, for me, that the alignment of it all is important, that, that I align with people across the board. Not just someone I'm dating, but my friends. Like if I hung out with any of you, I know where our conversations are going for the most part. I know it's time to eat. When you taking me someplace, I don't have to think about it.
Right.
And that's a good feeling, isn't it?
It's a wonderful feeling. Hey,
there's freedom there.
Yes, there's freedom. And I feel like I don't have to kind of guess everything that what is this going to be like with them today? What do I have to deal with today? Because I know that consciously this person is constantly doing their work. But let me just ask a question for the people out there. Can you explain to some folks what's the difference between plant-based and vegan?
Ooh, honey, that's easy enough.
You go, Babette, but that's easy.
Well, but
a lot of people don't.
But you know what? I've changed as well. I prefer plant-based now rather than just vegan, because vegan simply means that you're not eating animal products. You're not wearing the leather. You're not doing anything that has to do with the destruction of animals. But they got some vegans that are junky, nasty, and that is not what I want to consider myself. I prefer to consider myself plant-based, as in forget about all the processed food with all the chemicals. I prefer to do my nuts, my seeds, my grains, my plants, fruit, all the berries, all of those things that fall under the umbrella of plants, rather than just saying veganism.
It's interesting because I totally get that, Babette. I've heard people who define plant-based differently than you do. Your definition of it really aligns more with being a true vegan person.
Right.
But a lot of people, I've heard them describe being plant-based, especially celebrities, as I am plant-based, which means I still may do dairy, or I still might eat eggs. I just don't eat meat. Well, I mean, it's so, you know what I mean? My thing is this, and you and I, remember that time we did that thing together that Tara produced?
Right.
And it was like, I'm probably a grace-based vegan. So for me, I'm not trying to put anything in my face or on my body or any of that. And even my cosmetics, I
Right.
do my best to really be conscious in that space. I'm not 100% perfect, but my heart and my goal is to be right. But for me, it's really just about the technical definition is no eggs, no dairy, and no meat. That is, quote unquote, the technical, for those of you who don't know, the technical definition of vegan, as opposed to vegetarian, which may still eat, you know, or dairy, drink, whatever. And then there's all these like lacto and paleo, all the other things. But yeah, so that's the way I define it, is just not, it's funny. Yesterday I was talking to this wonderful woman in the UK. She has a company called Vegan Publishing. And she became vegan because of being bullied because of the way she looks. Doesn't seem to coincide.
Wow.
Right? She's beautiful, but she's brown. And in her culture, that is not as good as not being brown. It grew kindness in her. And she said, speaking of cats, people love their cats, right? They love their cats, they love their dogs. But when you go by intelligence, cats and dogs are not as intelligent as pigs and cows. But some people keep pigs in the house, but generally speaking, we know what we're saying. So she said, as long as you are defining the animals that deserve to die and the ones who don't, you're delineating that same thing unconsciously with humans. And so for her, you can't call yourself kind if you're still eating animals. Isn't that interesting? The way she made that correlation. She said, and when the world wraps their heart around that it all coincides, and she has nothing to do with kindness.org. Well, at least not yet. But she's very much, she aligns with it in that way. And that really witnesses my spirit, because it feels the same. It really does feel the same. So yeah, I mean, I just thought that was really neat.
So, Babette, this is for you again. Because I've had someone say, about plants, and talking about, how you always say that plants have a season and they die. So this person's, and that's the justification for eating plants, that they're meant for us to eat because they're gonna. But this person's statement was, yeah, but we eat them before they die.
Well, first of all,
Huh?
I don't eat dead plants.
Well, that's the point. So hold on. So that was part of the conversation was, well, if you're not eating dead plants, you wait till you actually, technically what they were saying was you kill the plant so you can eat them, which is what you're saying you don't want to do with the animals.
No, that right there, those, when people come with that, those are just excuses for not being off animal flesh. First and foremost, the human species cannot jump on a cow, tear it apart. He does not have the equipment, the gear in his mouth, or the enzymes in his mouth to break down raw animal flesh. I can pick an apple off the tree and eat it, digest it, start the digestion in my mouth, and continue with the digestion as it enters my gut, and just taking it off the tree. So the point is, when that apple is picked, when it is ripe enough for me to eat it, it is giving me the nutrients, the vitamins that I so need as part of the human species, and what I need to get from my food being human. Now, if I was a tiger, a lion, one of those animals where they ingest animal flesh, I could attack that cow, bring it down, and begin to tear it apart and eat it and digest it on the spot. There is not one human living that I've ever heard of on this planet that can do any of that, period. So I do not eat death. I eat life. I prefer to have my food picked when it's in season. And that's why I don't eat watermelons all year round. I'm not even eating watermelons anymore if there aren't seeds in them. I'm not even ingesting grapes anymore if I can't find a seed. So you can talk that mess about, well, when you pick an apple, it's dead. Shut up. Sorry. That don't make no sense. And you know it don't make no sense.
But anyway,
that was good.
Yeah, that was great. And we're going to end this episode on that note. So for those of you who wanted to know a little more about it, make sure you tune in again, because we're going to have more conversations just on this subject. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on what, ladies? Sunday Bites
and Tidbits.
And what do we say at the end of each one, Sil?
Gone.
Nobody can do you better than you.
Okay, I'm going to look up here at this record button. Can't nobody do you better. Can't nobody do you better than you.
And nobody can do you better than you. Have a great time. We'll see you next time.
I may not think like you, but it's alright.